Hello guys, welcome to my channel. In this video I am going to explain a problem on three-hinged parabolic arch. So coming to the problem, the question is given that a three-hinged parabolic arch, as it is given here, with a span of 16 meters. Okay, so 4 plus 4 plus 8, it is 16 meters, having a central rise of 4 meters. So this is the central rise and 4 meters. Calculate the moment at all the points. That means moment at D, E, F, J, K, L. D, E, F, J, K and L. So these are the points which we have to calculate the moment. Okay, so we are having the third hinged support at C. The moment at C will be 0 because it is a hinged support. And second one is to calculate the normal thrust and radial shear at left and right quarter span points. So this is the left span and it is the right span. So in this quarter points and this in this span the quarter points, we have to calculate the normal thrust and radial shear. So this is all about the question. Another thing is all the points are equidistant from each other. So this point to this point it is given as 4 meters. Therefore the distance between these two points is 2 meters and this distance between these two points will be 2 meters, and each and every point the distance is 2 meters. So the another thing is that the arch is symmetrical. Okay, so if you calculate the rise at D, it will be equal to rise at L, and rise at E equal to rise at K, rise at J equal to rise at F. So we will calculate the rises at these 2 points, sorry, this half span, and we will apply the same rises at right span. Okay, right half span. So as per the procedure, the first step is to calculate the rises at various points, that means D, E, F, J, K, L. We will calculate these three rises. Those three rises will be equal to these three corresponding rises. So as per the procedure, I am starting the solution. As per the procedure, the first step is to calculate the rise of arch. Okay, so we have to calculate the rise of arch. Before calculating the rise of arch, first we should write the given data. Okay, YC, that means central rise is given as 4 meters and capital L, that means span, is 16 meters. So we have to substitute these formulas in the equation. Okay, parabola equation. So in the introduction video I have explained about the parabolic equation. So this is the formula for calculation of rise of arch: 4yc into Lx minus x square divided by L square. Now we should use this formula for DEF to calculate the rise at DEF correspondingly. Okay, now the rise at D, that means YD. Okay, rise at D equal to 4 into YC is the central rise, it is 4 meters. So 4 meters into capital L is the span of the arch, it is 16 meters. X is the distance from support to the point D. Okay, we are taking point D. We have to take the distance from support to point D. So this is the point D and this distance will be 2 meters. Okay, so 2 meters minus x square means 2 meters and divided by L square means span, that means 16 square. So we will get the value as 1.75 meters. This will be equal to rise at L by symmetry. Okay, so these 2 points are at same level on either side, so no need to calculate it separately. So after D we will calculate the rise at E, YE. So I am calculating the rise at E. Again use the same formula, 4 into YC means central rise, it won't change, 4 meters, and L is the span 16 meters into X is the distance from support to the this point. So it is given as 4 meters. So only X value will be changes from point to point. Minus X square means 4 square divided by L square means 16 square, that means span. It is equal to 3 meters. So on the other side it is equal to K. So next, after E we should calculate the YF. So YF equal to 4 into, again follow the same formula, YC is 4 meters, 16 into and up to F, that means 2 meters, 2 meters, 2 meters, 2 meters. So 6 meters minus x square means again 6 divided by spans means 16 square. The value is 3.75 meters and ultimately it will be also equal to YJ. Okay, Y j. So with these calculations, I have calculated the rises at every point. That means yd, ye, yf, yj, yk and yl. Due to symmetry, I have equated both the rises. Okay. So this is the procedure for calculation of rise of arch. Now after calculating the rise of arch, now we have to calculate the support reactions. So support reactions are calculated just as in the case of simply supported beam. So for example, take this arch as a simply supported beam and apply the equilibrium equations and calculate the support reactions. So I am applying sigma v equal to 0. So algebraic sum of all the vertical loads or reactions will be equal to 0. Let the vertical reaction at A be VA and the vertical reaction be at B will be VB. So what I will write is that vertical reactions are in upward direction. So VA plus VB, and these three loads are downward. So minus 80. So I am doing the algebraic sum of all the vertical loads and reactions. Okay, only vertical. 80 minus 40, since minus is because it is downward direction. So minus this UDL. So 20 into this total length, that means 8 meters. Finally it is equal to 0. Okay, finally we have to equate it to 0. VA plus VB is finally equal to 280. So with this we will get one equation. Now I am going to apply the second equilibrium condition. So sigma MA equal to 0. That means algebraic sum of all the moments taken about point A is equal to 0. So if I take moment at point A, then we have to write one equation so that we will get the value of VB, that means vertical reaction at B. First of all, I am taking moment at A. So coming from here, there is a vertical first of all, moment is the product of force and perpendicular distance. So this is one force or the reaction. So VB, so it is going in upward direction. So it is lifting the arch in upward direction. That means sagging moment. Okay, so positive. Since the reaction is lifting the arch in upward direction, it is a sagging moment and the moment is positive. Sagging is always positive. To the perpendicular distance. So the perpendicular distance from reaction to the point I have taken, that means A. So it is the total span 16 meters. So 16. Now this load is so this reaction is completed. Now we have to take the moment for this UDL. Okay, so in order to take the moment for UDL, this load whatever the UDL is having, it is making the arch to move in downward direction. That means hogging moment. So it is minus. So this UDL is creating hogging moment. So minus. So moment is product of force into perpendicular distance. Force is calculated as 20 into the total length it is acting into the perpendicular distance, point to the center of UDL. Okay, this is the point I have taken and this is the center of UDL. So the point to center of UDL will be 4 plus 4 plus 8 by 2. So that same I am writing here, 4 plus 8 by 2. Okay, so just I have taken the moment for this UDL. Okay, due to this UDL, what is the moment if I take it about A, that I am calculating here. Okay, if I take moment about A, 20 into the total length on it of the UDL, that means 20 into 8, and perpendicular distance is point to the center of UDL. Point is taken as A and from this 4 plus 8 by 2. Okay, point to center of UDL. It will be this step I have written here. Now after UDL there is 40 kilonewton load. So 40 into, so this load into perpendicular distance 4 plus 4, that means 8. So minus, so this load is also making the arch to move in the downward direction, that means hogging moment. So negative 40 into perpendicular distance is 4 plus 4, 8. So 40 into 8. Now this load is remaining. Okay, 80 into the perpendicular distance is 4. 80 into 4. This is also creating the arch to move in the downward direction. It is also hogging moment. 80 into 4. So minus 80 into 4 finally equal to 0. So from this equation you will get the value of Vb equal to 160 kilonewton. Now I will place this 160 kilonewton in this equation. Vb equal to 160 kilonewton. So I will place 160 here. 280 minus 160. Therefore Va will be equal to 120 kilonewton. So I have got both the vertical reactions. Now I am indicating here. This is Vb, so 160 kilonewton, and Va is 120 kilonewton. So with this we have obtained the vertical reactions. Now we have to calculate the horizontal reaction. Now I am applying the third equilibrium condition, sigma h equal to 0. That means algebraic sum of all the horizontal loads or reactions will be equal to 0. So here we are having two hinged supports. At two hinged supports we will have one horizontal reaction. Okay, the horizontal reaction at AB HA, and the horizontal reaction at B will be HB. Since the arch is symmetrical, both horizontal reactions will be equal. Just for explanation or calculation I am saying. So if I apply sigma h equal to 0, HA and HB are the only horizontal loads. Horizontal reactions. There are no other horizontal loads and reactions in the arch. So this reaction is towards right side direction and this is towards left side direction. So both the directions are opposite. So I am writing HA minus HB equal to 0. From this HA will be equal to HB. Okay. So the arch is symmetrical, so the horizontal reactions will be equal. So in order to find the horizontal reaction, I have to take the moment about C, because we know that there is a hinge at point C. Okay, we are having a hinge at point C, and we also know that the moment at hinges will be equal to 0. So at this point we know the moment at C equal to 0. So I am taking sigma mc equal to 0. That means moments about point C, algebraic sum of moment about point C is equal to 0, because here we are having hinged support. At the hinged support moment will be equal to 0. Now if I take moment about C equal to 0, you can consider either right side or left side. Since we are having only one load, this is simple load we are having, I am taking from left side and I will calculate the value of horizontal reaction. So if I take the moment about C, we are having one vertical reaction, we are having horizontal reaction, and also one load. So we have to take the moments about these three loads and we have to finally equate it to 0. First of all, consider this vertical reaction. So for this vertical reaction we have to calculate the moment, force into perpendicular distance. So that means this is the point I am having, this is the force, and this is the perpendicular distance. Therefore 120 into 4 plus 4, that is 8. 120 into 8. This load is making the arch to move in upward direction. That means it is sagging moment. Sagging moment will be positive. So 120 into 8, that I am writing here, 120 into 8. Okay, since it is a sagging moment, that means the point is lifting. Okay, so I have written positive. Now we have completed for vertical reaction. Now horizontal reaction. So if I take about point C, this reaction is pushing the arch in the downward direction. This is the arch and this is moving in downward direction. That means hogging moment, it will be negative. So minus HA, we don't know the amount, so we don't know the reaction, so let it be HA. Okay, let it be HA into perpendicular distance. We want perpendicular distance. This is the load, this is the load, and this is the perpendicular distance. It is 4 meters. So 4 meters. Now this load, is, I am taking about point C, this load into perpendicular distance 80 into 4. This is making the arch to move in the downward direction. It is a hogging moment. 80 into 4. So since it is a hogging moment, minus 80 into 4 finally equal to 0. From this you will get HA equal to 160 kilonewton. So since HA equal to 160 kilonewton, HB will also be equal to 116 kilonewton. Commonly I will take horizontal reaction equal to 160 kilonewton. So this is the horizontal reaction. this is the vertical reaction at B and this is vertical reaction at A. So after calculation of support reactions, now we have to calculate the beam moments. Beam moments means we have to assume the arch as a simply supported beam. Okay, we have to treat this entire arch as a simply supported beam and then we have to calculate the moment at each point. So I made this arch. So I have straightened this arch and made into a simply supported beam with same dimensions 4 meters, 4 meters and 8 meters. So this is the vertical reaction at A, 120 kilonewton, and here 120 kilonewton, and 160 kilonewton vertical reaction at B, so 160 kilonewton. In simply supported beam there won't be any horizontal reaction, so I haven't included that horizontal reaction in this beam. Okay, so at point E we are having 80 kilonewton, so 80 kilonewton, and at similarly at point C we are having 40 kilonewton load and 20 kilonewton per meter UDL. So I have indicated that one. So just I have straightened this arch. Okay, that's what I have drawn here. This is a simply supported beam. Now we have to calculate the moment about point D, E, F, C, J, K and L. Okay, now we have to calculate these moments. So we know that moment is product of force and perpendicular distance. Okay, so we have to multiply the force with the perpendicular distance. So I am denoting the beam moments as mu. For example, if I am calculating the moment at D, I will take mu D. If I am calculating at E, it is mu E. So you can use any other letter as per your convenience. I am taking mu as the symbol for beam moments. So first of all, I am starting from point D. Mu D equal to so I am taking the moment about point D. So I am coming from left side direction. So left side there is 120 kilonewton reaction upward and perpendicular distance is 2 meters. Okay, 120 kilonewton upward reaction and perpendicular distance from this reaction to the point is 2 meters. Okay, every point is equidistant from each other. So 120 into 2. So that is what I am writing here. Force into perpendicular distance, force is 120 kilonewton, perpendicular distance is 2 meters, that means 4 by 2, okay, 2 meters. So since this is moving the beam in upward direction, it is a sagging moment, so it is a positive moment. 120 into 2 is 240 kilonewton meter. Since it is a sagging moment, I am writing it as a positive moment. Now after D we have to calculate the moment at E. So mu E. Again for mu E, if I take the moment about E, force into perpendicular distance up to E. 120 into the perpendicular distance is 4. 120 into 4, it is 480 kilonewton meter. Again mu, next one is F. Now mu F equal to, if I take the moment about F, then there is a reaction at 120 kilonewton and there is a perpendicular distance up to E, it is 4 meters. This extra distance is 2 meters. So 4 plus 2. Okay. So this reaction is moving the beam in upward direction. It is a sagging moment. So it will be positive. 120 into this perpendicular distance. 120 into perpendicular distance is 4 plus 2. So it is 6 meters. So 120 into 6. This is the moment for the reaction. Now if I take moment about this point, there is also one load acting in the left side direction. Okay, 80 into this distance, this 80 into 2. So 80 into 2. Now this load is moving the beam in downward direction, that means hogging moment. Hogging moment will be negative, therefore the value is 560 kilonewton meter. Okay, this reaction is moving the beam in upward direction, it is sagging moment, so positive. This load is moving the beam in downward direction, that means hogging moment, that means negative. Okay, so the final moment is 560 kilonewton meter. Now again mu C. Now if I take the moment about this point, again starting from left side, 120 into perpendicular distance, 4 plus 4, 8. So 120 into 8. this reaction is moving the beam in upward direction, it is a sagging moment, so positive. Again, if we consider towards left side, there is also a load, so 80 into this perpendicular distance is 4. 80 into 4, this load is moving in downward direction, it is making the beam to bend in downward direction, that means hogging moment, so negative. The moment is 640 kilonewton meter. Now we have to calculate the moment at J. So mu J equal to, this time I am taking from right side direction. You can also take from left side direction. Now I am taking from right side direction. So if you consider the point J towards the right side direction, first of all we are having this load. This load is moving the beam in upward direction. That means in this manner. Okay, in this manner the beam is going to bend. So this is the smiley face. So it is a sagging moment. It is a positive moment. So 160 into distance up to here to here. So I am writing here 160. Since it is a sagging moment, it is positive. So this is 2 meters, 2 meters, 2 meters. So 160 into 6. Okay. So next we are having UDL load. This load is moving the beam in downward direction, that is hogging moment. So it will be negative. For UDL loads, the moment is taken by the load intensity into, so load intensity into, that means 20 kilonewton per meter is the load intensity, into the distance over which the UDL acting. From here to here the UDL acting is 6 meters. So 6 into the distance between point to center of UDL. For this distance the center will be here. So this is 6 meters, the center will be 6 by 2. So this is 600 kilonewton meter. Okay. So 160 into perpendicular distance is 6 meters. Okay. Now for UDL, load intensity into length of UDL. So length of UDL is 6 meters. This span. Okay. Length of UDL is 6 meters and point to center of UDL it is 6 by 2. Okay. If total length of UDL is 6 meters, then center point of UDL will be 6 by 2 and it is obtained as 600 kilonewton meter. Now mu k, that means here again 160 into perpendicular distance is 4. 160 into 4, again we are having UDL, it is hogging moment, so minus, again the same formula, intensity of UDL into, that means intensity is same 20 into length of UDL, this time it is 4 meters. Okay, towards right side it is 4 meters, so 4 into distance from point to center. If total span is 4 meters, then center span will be 4 by 2. So the value is 480 kilonewton meter. Mu L, the next point is mu L. Now again 160 into 2. So 160 into 2 minus, so this portion of UDL is taken. Now this portion, to take this portion, so it is a hogging moment, load intensity is 20, the length of UDL is 2 meters and point to center of UDL will be 2 by 2. Now the value is 280 kilonewton meter. So these are the moments which are obtained if I consider the arch as a simply supported beam. Now the next step is to calculate the moments in arches. This is the formula for calculating the moment in arch. Mx equal to mu x minus h into yx. So x is the point that I am taking for calculation of moments in the arch. That means if I am calculating the moment at D, then md equal to mu d minus hyd. Similarly, if I am considering point E, ME equal to mu E minus HYE. If I take F, MF equal to mu F minus HYF. So here mu values at various points are obtained from third step and H value is calculated in the second step. It is obtained as 160 kilonewton and YX values are obtained from, Y values are obtained from step 1. Okay, by using those values we will substitute the values in this formula to calculate the moment at various points in the arch. So starting with point D, so md equal to, separately I am not writing the formula, mu d. So I am taking md equal to mu d. So mu d is 240 kilonewton meter minus H value in the second step it is obtained as 160 kilonewton into YD. So in the first step YD is 1.75 meters. So that I am writing here 1.75. So the value is minus 40 kilonewton meter. So this is the moment in the MD. Now I will calculate ME. Okay. ME equal to mu E. That means mu E is for 480. 480 minus H value is obtained as 160 kilonewton in step 2 and YE. Here YE equal to 3 meters. So 3. The value is 0 kilonewton meter. And MF after E it is F. So mu F equal to 560 kilonewton meter. So 560 minus H value is 160 which is same for all, and again YF equal to 3.75. So 3.75 the value is minus 40 kilonewton meter. Now after F I should calculate at C. At C mu C is 640 kilonewton meter. So this formula 640 at C minus H value is 160 kilonewton into the central rise. YC is the central rise which is given in the question 4 meters. So the value is 0 kilonewton meter. Now the next point after C is J. So MJ equal to mu J. So here we are having mu J. Mu J is obtained as 600 kilonewton meter. So 600 minus H value is 160 into Yj. Yj is obtained from step 1 as 3.75. So 3.75 the value is 0, and after J it is K. No, so mu K equal to, here it is obtained as 480 minus H value is 160. Simply we have to follow this formula and substitute the values from step 1 and step 2. So Yk it is 3 meters. So it is again 0 kilonewton meter. And next one is after K it is L. So mu L equal to, here we have calculated 280 minus H value is 160 into YL. Sorry, YL equal to 1.75. This is not C, it is YL. So 1.75. It is also equal to 0 kilonewton meter. So with this we have calculated all the moments in the arch. With these calculations we have calculated the first part. Okay. So the first part is completed. The next one is to calculate the normal thrust and radial shear at left and right quarter span. The question it is given that at left and right quarter span points. So quarter span means 1/4 of the total span. The total span is 16 meters, and in that 16 meters we have to take the 1/4. That means at 4 meters, from left support and 4 meters from right support, whatever the point we are having, we have to calculate the normal thrust and radial shear at that point. So 4 meters from left support, this is the left support and this is the 4 meters. So at 4 meters we are having point E. Okay, so we are having point E. So I have to calculate normal thrust at point E and radial shear at point E. This is the left quarter span point. In the question he also asked that right quarter span. So from right 4 meters. If I move backward 4 meters, the point is K. So I should calculate the normal thrust at K, normal thrust at K and radial shear also at K. So at E and K, I should calculate the normal thrust and radial shear. Okay. So here I have written the formula for normal thrust and radial shear. P equal to H cos theta plus V sin theta and F equal to minus H sin theta plus V cos theta. So in order to calculate the normal thrust and radial shear, we know the horizontal reaction. Okay, we know the horizontal reaction which we have calculated in the step 2. It is obtained as 160 kilonewton, and we can also calculate the V value. V is nothing but shear force at that point. For example, if we are taking at point E, we have to calculate the shear force at E and we have to substitute that value here. And if we are taking at point K, shear force at K is calculated and that value is substituted in these two formulas in the place of V. So we can calculate H value and V value, but we don't know the value of theta. So to find the value of theta, we have to apply the tan theta. That means tan theta equal to dy by dx. This is the formula, but we have, this means that, so dy by dx means d by dx of y. Okay, this is the actual meaning of dy by dx, d by dx of y. So in the first step I have written the formula of y. So this is the value of y and this value is to be substituted in this place and I have to apply differentiation with respect to x. Okay, so I am writing the formula d by dx of, this formula I am writing there, 4yc into lx minus x square divided by L square. Now in this formula 4yc by L square is common, constant. So I am taking outside 4yc by L square, I am taking outside and applying differentiation to the remaining terms. So 4yc by L square, this is constant, so it remains as it is, into, so d by dx of Lx, L minus d by dx of x square means 2x. Okay, so this is the formula which is obtained after differentiating this term by d by dx. Okay, d by dx of Lx is L, d by dx of x square is 2x. Now I have to substitute the values which have been given in the question. So 4 into yc is the central rise given in the question, 4 meters, divided by total span L square, that means 16 square, into total span L equal to 16 minus 2 into x is nothing but distance from support to the point where we are calculating the normal thrust and radial shear. So we are calculating the normal thrust and radial shear at point E and K. So x should be measured from support to the point E and support to the point K. So point E, support to the point E, the distance is 4 meters. Support to the point K is also 4 meters. So both are 4 meters. I am substituting 4. So the value is 0.5. This is the value of tan theta. So by using this relation, we can calculate the value of cos theta, that is 0.8944, and similarly sin theta equal to 0.4472. So I have obtained the values of cos theta and sin theta. Now I can substitute in this formula. So now for example, I am taking at E. So first of all, I am calculating the normal thrust and radial shear at E. Normal thrust P equal to, so we are having H. It is calculated in the step 2. In step 2, H value is obtained as 160 kilonewton. H is nothing but horizontal reaction. And cos theta, it is 0.8944 plus V is the shear force. Okay, so treating the arch as a simply supported beam, we have to calculate the shear force. So in the given arch, so if I am calculating at shear force at E, so left hand side upward we are having 120 kilonewton. So I am taking point E and I am calculating the shear force at E. Whatever the procedure we have adopted in simply supported beams, the same procedure is adopted here to calculate the shear force. So shear force at E is left hand side, coming from the left side upward is positive. So left hand side we are having reaction 120 kilonewton. So it is acting in upward direction. So left hand side upward positive 120 kilonewton. Therefore it is the shear force at point E, into sin theta is calculated here 0.4472. This is the normal thrust at E. So therefore PE equal to, it is obtained as 196.77 kilonewton. So this is the normal thrust at point E. Now I should calculate the radial shear. Now radial shear at point E equal to, the formula is minus H, that means H is 160. So minus 160 into sin theta is 0.4472 plus V is the shear force at point we are taking at E. At E just now we have calculated 120 kilonewton. So V is 120 kilonewton, cos theta is, here we have calculated 0.8944. So radial shear is Fe equal to 35.78 kilonewton. So I have calculated the normal thrust and radial shear at E. Now I should calculate at right quarter span point, that means K. So at K I should calculate the normal thrust Pk equal to H is 160 kilonewton, same value, into cos theta is 0.8944 plus V is the shear force at the point we are taking. Okay, so shear force at K, Vk, we have to calculate the shear force at K. So just for understanding, if this is the simply supported beam, in the previous step I have drawn it. So just for understanding, if this is the K, we should find out the value of shear force at K. So shear force at K, Vk equal to this, whatever I am coming from the right side direction. So right side we are having upward direction 160 kilonewton. So the sign convention is right hand side upward negative. Okay, so right side of the point K I am having 160 kilonewton upward. So right hand side upward is negative. So minus 160 plus, again to the right side of the point K I am also having UDL up to this portion. This portion of UDL is also considered while calculating the shear force. So right side of K I am having the UDL. So the load intensity into the length of this portion. The length of this portion is 4 meters. So minus 160 plus 8, it is minus 80 kilonewton. The plus is taken because if right hand side, this is right hand side, upward is negative, then right hand side downward will be positive. So I have taken positive. So I am placing that minus 80 kilonewton into, we are having sin theta, it is 0.4472. So the value is, normal thrust is obtained as 107.33 kilonewton. This is the normal thrust at K. Now finally I should calculate the normal thrust at, radial shear at K. Radial shear is minus H, that means minus 160 into sin theta is 0.4472 plus V is calculated just now minus 80 into cos theta is 0.8944. So the value is minus 143.1 kilonewton. So this is the radial shear at K. So with this we have calculated the normal thrust and radial shear, which we have completed the second part of the question. So this is all about the analysis of three hinged arch having supports at same level. So this is all about the analysis of three hinged arches having parabolic in shape. Thank you.